stop everything you're doing right now. Because what I'm about to tell you, what I'm about to show you, it's going to shake everything you thought you knew about WWE's women's division. The storm didn't just arrive. It completely obliterated everything in its path. And when the dust finally settled, the entire landscape had changed forever. Listen to me very carefully. This isn't just another title win. This isn't just another championship reign. This is the story of a woman who was betrayed, broken, left for dead, and then rose from those ashes to become something more powerful, more dangerous, more unstoppable than anyone ever imagined. This is the story of Jade Cargill. Before we dive into this absolute madness, I need you to do something for me. I need you to become part of the SLAMZONE family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Smash that notification bell because you're not going to want to miss a single breakdown, a single moment, a single piece of the chaos that's about to unfold in WWE. Comment down below and tell me what you think about this whole situation. Were you shocked? Did you see this coming? Let me know. And if this story hits you the way it hit me, share this video with every wrestling fan you know. We're building something special here at SLAMZONE, and I want you right there with me. Now let me take you back. November 2024. A Friday night that nobody will ever forget. Jade Cargill, standing tall alongside Bianca Belair as one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Everything seemed perfect. The partnership was clicking. They were dominant. They were unstoppable. And then everything went black. The cameras caught it all. A brutal, vicious attack backstage. Jade's body sprawled across the hood of a car, thrown through the windshield like a piece of trash. Blood, broken glass, chaos. And one question that would haunt the WWE Universe for months: who did this? Can you imagine that moment? 1 second you're on top of the world, the next you're fighting just to breathe. The impact, the shock, the betrayal written in every shattered piece of that windshield. Bianca rushed to her side, abandoning her chance at becoming the first Women's United States Champion just to be there for her partner, her friend, her sister. That tells you everything about the bond they shared. But while Jade was recovering, while she was putting the pieces of herself back together both physically and mentally, something was happening. Someone was taking her place. Naomi stepped into that vacant spot next to Bianca. And together, they captured the Women's Tag Team Championships. They defended those titles week after week. And Jade? She was watching from somewhere, healing, planning, waiting. The WWE Universe was going crazy trying to figure it out. Was it Damage Control getting revenge? Was it someone new with a vendetta? Was it someone close to home? Every week brought new theories, new suspects, new possibilities. The mystery deepened with every SmackDown episode, with every cryptic social media post Jade would share. Images of herself covered in what looked like blood, her eyes filled with something dark and dangerous. This wasn't the same Jade Cargill who had arrived in WWE with flash and confidence. Something had changed. Something had broken inside her. Or maybe, just maybe, something had been unleashed. Then came Elimination Chamber 2025. March, Toronto. The women's chamber match was about to begin. 6 competitors ready to battle for supremacy. Naomi stood in her pod, confident, ready. The countdown began. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The lights went out. And then she appeared. The arena exploded. Jade Cargill stormed down that ramp like a woman possessed, like 4 months of pain and rage and betrayal had all been compressed into this one singular moment of violence. She didn't care about the chamber. She didn't care about the match. She had eyes for only one person: Naomi. The attack was brutal, relentless. Jade unleashed every ounce of frustration, every sleepless night, every moment of wondering why. She destroyed Naomi before the match even started, leaving her broken body on a stretcher as paramedics rushed to her aid. The message was clear. The mystery had an answer. And that answer was standing in the middle of the ring, chest heaving, eyes wild, pointing directly at the woman she once called friend. But Jade wanted to hear it. The WWE Universe deserved to hear it. So the following SmackDown in Philadelphia, Bianca Belair demanded the truth. She stood in that ring and called Naomi out, and what happened next was television gold. Pure, unfiltered emotion. Naomi came to the ring wearing a neck brace, moving slowly, cautiously. At first, she dodged the question. She deflected. She tried to change the subject. But Bianca pushed. She pushed hard. Because she loved them both. She needed to know if the woman she had been teaming with, defending titles with, sharing victories with, was the same woman who had tried to end Jade's career. And then Naomi broke. Through tears, through anger, through a voice cracking with emotion, she admitted it. She looked Bianca in the eyes and said the words nobody wanted to hear. I did it. I did it for us. It was always supposed to be about me and you. You could hear a pin drop in that arena. The shock, the disbelief, it was written on every face in the crowd. Bianca's heart shattered right there on live television. She told Naomi she loved her. She told her she couldn't even look at her. And then she walked away, ending their friendship with 3 devastating words: "We're done." But Naomi wasn't finished. As Bianca walked up that ramp, Naomi's desperation turned to venom. She screamed about how she did it for Bianca, how she wished she had pushed Jade even harder. And then she crossed the line, calling Bianca an ungrateful name that you could feel echoing through the building. That's when the SUV pulled up. Jade Cargill emerged like a final boss in a video game. Calm, collected, deadly. She walked to that ring with purpose, slid under the ropes, and gave Naomi exactly what she had been waiting 4 months to deliver. The jaded finisher left Naomi crumpled in the center of the ring. Justice had been served. But this war was far from over. Let me just pause here for a second. If you're feeling this story the way I am, do me a favor. hit that like button. Show some love to SLAMZONE. We're breaking down the most intense, the most emotional storylines in wrestling, and your support means everything. Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on those notifications. And drop a comment telling me whose side you're on, Team Jade or Team Naomi? Let's talk about it. The weeks that followed were absolute chaos. These two women went to war. They attacked each other backstage. They ambushed each other during matches. They took their battle to social media, changing profile pictures to show the other's beaten body, throwing verbal grenades back and forth. Naomi threatened to send Jade back to where she came from. Jade made it clear that Naomi's time in WWE was running on borrowed time. WrestleMania 41 became the battlefield. The stage was set. Jade versus Naomi. One-on-one. And when that bell rang, the intensity was off the charts. These weren't just two competitors fighting for victory. These were two women fighting to prove who was the superior warrior. Jade dominated. She overpowered Naomi at every turn, showing why she was called the Storm. The Jaded finisher connected, and Jade walked out of WrestleMania with her hand raised, but the rivalry still burned hot. Naomi won the Money in the Bank contract in June, becoming the first black woman to hold that opportunity. The briefcase gave her power, gave her leverage. But Jade? Jade had her eyes on something bigger. She entered the Queen of the Ring tournament, and she dominated every opponent in her path. The finals at Night of Champions saw her defeat Asuka, capturing the crown and guaranteeing herself a championship match at SummerSlam. But the target of her ambitions wasn't Naomi. It was Tiffany Stratton, the WWE Women's Champion who had held that title for over 300 days. Tiffy time had been running strong all year, with Stratton defeating everyone put in front of her. She was confident. She was cocky. She was the perfect champion. Until Jade decided it was time. Here's where things get interesting. Because Jade wasn't just hunting a championship. She was transforming into something different. For months, she had played the babyface, the hero fighting for justice after being wronged. But something was shifting. You could see it in her eyes. You could feel it in the way she carried herself. The darkness that had been planted in her during that November attack was growing, spreading, changing her. The week before SummerSlam, Jade was in the ring with Tiffany, and they seemed to be on the same page. When Julia and Kiana James attacked Stratton, Jade made the save. The two stood tall together. The crowd cheered. Everything seemed fine. And then Jade struck. A brutal clothesline out of nowhere. Stratton hit the mat hard, confusion and pain written across her face. But Jade wasn't done. She grabbed Tiffany's leg and stomped it viciously on the steel steps. The crack echoed through the arena. Stratton's knee buckled. She screamed in agony. And Jade stood over her, no remorse, no hesitation, just cold calculation. In a backstage interview moments later, Jade's words were chilling. She was tired of being patient. Tired of playing by the rules. Tired of waiting for her moment. She was taking what was hers. The WWE Women's Championship was her destiny, and she didn't care who she had to destroy to claim it. SummerSlam came and went. Jade pushed Stratton to the limit, but the champion retained through a combination of grit, determination, and controversial circumstances. Jade lost, but she hadn't lost the hunger. She hadn't lost the edge. If anything, that defeat only fueled the fire burning inside her. Fast forward to November 1, 2025. Saturday night's main event in Salt Lake City. The Delta Center was packed. Celebrities filled the front row. Post Malone, Tony Hinchcliffe, Pauly Shore, all there to witness history. Because everyone could feel it in the air. Something special was about to happen. Tiffany Stratton came to the ring with her knee heavily taped. The injury Jade had inflicted weeks earlier still hampering her movement. SmackDown general manager Nick Aldis had even asked if she was sure she wanted to compete. Stratton, to her credit, refused to back down. She was the champion. She would defend her title no matter the cost. But as Jade Cargill's music hit and the Storm made her entrance, you could see the concern in Stratton's eyes. This wasn't the same woman she had faced before. This was a predator. This was someone who had tasted blood and wanted more. The bell rang. Jade went straight for the injured knee. No feeling out process. No respect. Just pure, targeted aggression. She tossed Stratton to the mat, and the champion landed awkwardly on that bad wheel. From that moment, the match was a systematic destruction. Jade unleashed a chokeslam that shook the ring. A pump-handle gore D-buster that had Stratton gasping for air. Powerbombs that would have finished lesser opponents. Each move calculated, each strike designed to break Tiffany's will to continue. Stratton tried to fight back. She threw forearms. She attempted her signature offense. But every time she tried to plant on that knee, every time she tried to generate momentum, the pain slowed her down. And Jade was there, capitalizing on every moment of weakness. The eye of the Storm connected. Near fall. Jade wasn't satisfied. She lifted Stratton again. 1 power bomb. The crowd counted. 2 power bombs. The building was on its feet. 3 consecutive power bombs that left Tiffany Stratton barely conscious in the center of the ring. And then Jade hoisted her up one more time. The Jaded finisher, her devastating chicken wing facebuster. Stratton's body went limp. The referee slid into position. 1, 2, 3. New champion. The Delta Center exploded. Jade Cargill stood tall, the WWE Women's Championship raised high above her head. 301 days of Tiffy time had come to an abrupt, violent end. The Storm had arrived at the top of the mountain. And the women's division would never be the same. This wasn't just a title change. This was the culmination of a year-long journey. From being thrown through a car windshield, to discovering the betrayal of someone she trusted, to warfare with Naomi, to a character transformation that turned Jade from hero to something far more complex and dangerous. This was poetic justice. This was destiny fulfilled. Think about everything Jade overcame. The physical trauma of that initial attack. The emotional devastation of learning Naomi was responsible. The frustration of falling short at SummerSlam. She could have given up. She could have let the darkness consume her. Instead, she channeled it, controlled it, used it to become more dangerous than ever before. And now she stands as WWE Women's Champion, the first major singles title of her WWE career. For someone who came from AEW as the longest-reigning TBS champion, who made an immediate impact at the 2024 Royal Rumble, who captured tag team gold alongside Bianca Belair, this was the moment that defined her legacy in WWE. The question everyone's asking now is, what's next? Naomi still has that Money in the Bank contract. She could cash in at any moment. That adds a layer of tension to every single title defense Jade has. Will Naomi get her revenge by taking the championship from Jade when she least expects it? Will Bianca Belair finally return from her hand injury and challenge the woman who was once her partner? Will Tiffany Stratton invoke her rematch clause and come back stronger, healthier, more determined? The possibilities are endless. But one thing is certain: Jade Cargill is not the same person who entered WWE in 2023. She's evolved. She's adapted. She's become the absolute final boss of the women's division. And anyone brave enough to step up to her better be ready for the fight of their life. This is where legends are made. This is where championships change the trajectory of careers. This is the moment we'll look back on years from now and say, that's when Jade Cargill became a main event player. Before I let you go, I need you to do me one more solid. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. Subscribe to SLAMZONE for more in-depth analysis, match reviews, and wrestling content that goes beyond the surface. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss when we drop new videos. And please, comment below with your thoughts. Where does Jade go from here? Who should be her next challenger? What do you want to see happen with this championship reign? Share this video with your wrestling crew. Let's build this SLAMZONE family together. Let's create a community where we can celebrate these incredible moments, debate the outcomes, and appreciate the storytelling that makes professional wrestling so special. This has been your deep dive into one of the most compelling stories in WWE right now. Jade Cargill's journey from victim to victor, from tag team specialist to singles champion, from hero to something much more complex and fascinating. The storm is here. The championship is hers. And the women's division better brace itself for what comes next. I'll catch you in the next one. Stay hyped, stay passionate, and keep supporting SLAMZONE. This is just the beginning.